Mercury conjunct Uranus at 0 is powerful. A tight Mercury-Uranus conjunction can absolutely correlate with a breakthrough, a disruption, a revelation, a sudden pivot. But whether that becomes a historic moment, a fascinating news cycle, or simply a personal realization, depends heavily on the larger chart context and how it hits individual natal charts, who may feel it most strongly. People with major placements in Gemini, Taurus, Virgo, Aquarius, Scorpio, especially around the early degrees, may experience it more directly. Writers, coders, traders, researchers, inventors, media figures, and highly sensitive, nervous system-oriented people may notice it strongly too. Watch the nervous system of society around May 17th to 18th. Watch media shifts. Watch AI conversations. Watch markets. Watch people suddenly changing opinions they defended for years. Sometimes astrology becomes theater, and social media astrologers know that fear and hype travel faster than nuance. And talking about the Mercury-Uranus conjunction on the Taurus New Moon like it's the apocalypse or instant enlightenment. But let's be honest for a second. Not every rare transit is a portal to the fifth dimension. Yes, Mercury conjunct Uranus at 0 is powerful, especially in Gemini, Mercury's own domain. But power doesn't automatically mean catastrophe or cosmic salvation. What this transit actually symbolizes is something far more interesting: a rupture in perception. Mercury rules thought, Uranus rules disruption, Gemini rules information networks. Put them together and you don't necessarily get the end of the world. You get accelerated consciousness, sudden realizations, narrative collapse, mental rewiring, unexpected truths entering collective awareness. And because this unfolds under a Taurus new moon, the revelation is not abstract. It becomes physical. Money, security, technology, daily life, the systems we trusted. This is not mystical fantasy. This is quantum astrology in action. When collective attention shifts suddenly, reality reorganizes around new patterns of thought. That's Uranus. Most people expect lightning in the sky, but Uranian events often arrive as one sentence, one leak, one idea, one piece of information that changes how millions perceive reality. That's why this transit matters. Not because something magical descends from the heavens, but because human consciousness becomes electrically unstable enough to mutate. Some astrologers are selling panic, others are selling enlightenment. But real astrology is pattern recognition, and the deeper pattern here is clear. Humanity is entering a phase where information itself becomes revolutionary. Watch the nervous system of society around May 17th to 18th. Watch media shifts. Watch AI conversations. Watch markets. Watch people suddenly changing opinions they defended for years. Because Mercury-Uranus doesn't whisper. Astrologers tend to amplify events like this. If you watch global events around that period, expect the developments involving AI, speech and censorship debates, surprising political messaging, sudden shifts in public narrative. That's because Mercury plus Uranus in an air sign is archetypally networked electricity. What I would not predict, I would be skeptical of claims like guaranteed mass awakening, dimensional shift, singular prophetic event, instant enlightenment for humanity, one specific catastrophe. Astrology is better at describing patterns of atmosphere and timing than literal deterministic events. A tight Mercury-Uranus conjunction can absolutely correlate with a breakthrough, a disruption, a revelation, a sudden pivot. But whether that becomes a historic moment, a fascinating news cycle, or simply a personal realization, depends heavily on the larger chart context and how it hits individual natal charts.